Ladies and gentlemen, many people are competing against each other in Singapore or even in Malaysia. Who is richer? Who is wealthier? Who is not so well to do? And I think today, after meeting a very wise person, I found the ultimate definition of being wealthy, at least in Singapore. Let's watch on, shall we, and see what this means. So these are 8 signs that you are truly wealthy in Singapore. And I think you can extrapolate that also to Malaysia as well. So many people are high income or even high wealth, but are not able to enjoy the comforts of being rich. And today we will define wealth not in terms of the traditional classical standard means, but more important that really matters in terms of comfort and the treasures of life. Let's just watch on all the way to the end because the last few are the most important. So, what wealth really means? Now, most Singaporeans would actually think that being wealthy means you have high income statements, you have a landed property of a premium condominium, or you have the most luxurious and latest car. And it could possibly be very nice travels. You take business class for the whole family, very nice Chanel handbag, Hermes handbags, or whatsoever. But I think true wealth is a lot more than that. I think true wealth is a lot of freedom, freedom from financial fears, freedom from forced decisions, and freedom from comparison games. And true wealth actually reveals in behavior, not in possessions. And let me try to swing everybody to the right measures of true wealth. So, the first sign that you're wealthy is that you can fire your boss, not worry about your finances. So at that stage of time where work become a choice and not a necessity, you're truly working for joy and truly working for work because you find it meaningful, and income is no longer an important survival mechanism. So in that sense, at that point of time, you have the right to choose and the ability to walk away from your work is a true ultimate form of financial power. So the ability to be able to say, boss, F you, fire your boss, that's real wealth. The second sign of true wealth is when you don't need to prove your wealth, right? Now, a lot of people are wealthy, but they rush to try to prove they are wealthy by showing off all the material things that they have and things like that. And I think it's quite human to do that. And sometimes even I'm guilty of doing that with many aspects of my life, not just in wealth, but show off in terms of fitness, muscles, whatever, right? But the truth is, the truly wealthy don't need to prove they're wealthy. The many, many ultimate rich that I met, the way they dress, my goodness, man, a lot of them dress like they work in some roadside or something like that. No, I'm just saying that, and they dress very shabbily and things like that. So, well, I think the truly wealthy are people who has no urge to justify they are successful, and there's no pressure for them to prove that they look successful, and there's no need for them to show everybody that I'm successful. And this kind of wealthy is the ultimate form of validation, right? That I don't need to prove to you that I'm wealthy. And that's a very interesting a sign of wealth. Next is certainly not a need to do flexing, right? In terms of showing off. No need to show that they got luxury property. And there are many people with luxury property and a huge debts. I've seen that again and again. Don't need show that they have the latest or the latest atas watch or whatsoever, and they don't need to show off that they have big cars, branded handbags or whatsoever. So these things by itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but consumption of all these things should be because maybe you enjoy it, okay? Not that they want to flaunt it, and it doesn't define you as a personality, and certainly doesn't define you in terms of wealth. So, so people who are truly wealthy don't need to do all this flexing, and I think that's something quite interesting. So this is a very interesting point. When you're wealthy, you don't need insurance. Well, uh, I might actually push too far for it, but certainly, right? Let's think about it. This is a person that is financially tight. Okay, therefore he need insurance so as to help him go through a financial catastrophe. But here is, let's say, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger is dead. Okay, let's say we use people like Elon Musk. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg, whatsoever. I use a more kind of rich people so that you understand this. These people have mega hundreds of billions of dollars. They don't need insurance. So somewhere between the person that is not well to do at all to a person extremely well to do, there's a point that you don't need insurance anymore. And that's where I think the truly rich don't need insurance. Okay, I would certainly say that maybe some of them need insurance. Maybe in US is to escape estate duties, but in Singapore and maybe in Malaysia, the truly rich can self-cover. Why do you want to spend money buying insurance? Okay, so insurance protect a person from financial ruin. But if a person is truly wealthy, he cannot be ruined. Okay, so it makes absolute sense when a person is so wealthy, they don't need to do it now. I would say maybe there is some P&L advantage in choosing and buying a medical insurance for hospitalization in Singapore. And there's some insurance that you're forced to buy, like housing insurance or maybe car insurance that you're forced to buy. Other than that, the truly wealthy don't need any term insurance, life insurance, or for that matter, any medical insurance. We're just super wealthy. Now, another sign of wealthy people, people who are very wealthy, is they have got no longevity risk, right? No longevity means they have a whole life not fearing that they run out of money. They're not afraid that, if I live to 90, 100 years old, gosh, I'm going to spend up all my money. So that's called longevity risk, right? Live the fear of living too long and running out of money. So this is where when people are truly wealthy, my goodness, they don't need to fear that they run out of money. And of course, Singapore has a powerful system called the CPF Life that can help you do well. And if your CPF Life is to the roof, right? Okay, like mega thousands of dollars, wow, there's no fear of longevity risk, right? But of course, in order to build that kind of CPF Life, you must have a very good retirement account balances and things like that. So this is where people who are truly rich, they have no longevity risk. This is a very interesting phrase that I learned from a Chinese very rich man. He says that no, if you are if you can say this sentence, means you are rich, right? He says this, I'll say in Chinese, then later I explain in English. He say 钱能解决的问题就不是问题, which basically means that if this problem can be solved by money, then it's not a problem at all, right? For a person to be able to say this, of course, he must be rich, right? That he can solve all money solvable problem by money, right? So therefore, this is a true measure, right, of comfort that that, wow, 90% of problems that are going to hit me, I don't really worry because most problems can be solved by money, right? Of course, are there problems that cannot be solved by money? Of course, like cancer, healthcare risk, heart attack, whatsoever. A lot of these a lot of times, to some extent, yes, you can go for good medical treatment, but a lot of these are not solvable a problem. Like maybe some family issues are not solvable a problem. But a lot of these problem, if they are solvable by problem, and someone can say that 钱能解决的问题就不是问题, if money can solve problem, it's not a problem. Then they are truly wealthy. Now, this is something I also learned from a fund manager who is truly wealthy. Is just basically totally calm during market crashes. And I found out why, right? He's got huge financial safety net there. I'm talking huge, much larger than I have and things like that. Volatility at the fringes doesn't affect him at all, doesn't threaten him, doesn't he care, go up and down, no fear, especially when the market comes down crashing or whatever. No problem. Right? That's called truly rich, okay? And to be able to reach there, well, how much you need, is very individual, but you reach at a level high enough that that when market crashes comes, you have no fear. I think that's a true measure of wealth as well. Now, I think this problem exists in Singapore, but I think it's worse in Malaysia. I've seen this again and again. That there's a lot of comparison culture. Wow, I'm so rich. I need to flaunt them so rich. I meet all the businessmen, 9 out of 10 of them will just non-stop tell me how rich or how successful they are, whatsoever. And I think that culture is not so severe in Singapore, but is very severe in Malaysia, where there's a lot of comparison culture. And as a result, there's a lot of comparison and anxiety, right? And I just found out, wow, true rich, don't need to compare, don't need to tell you, man. So they don't need to be anxious whether I can tag up to you or not. There's no need to do tagging. I'm higher than you, I'm lower than you, or whatsoever. So comparison anxiety, does not exist with the rich people. They're very comfortable in themselves. Yes, you can be higher than me, but I'm very comfortable with my own level. Okay, I get a couple X dollars or X dollars in my wealth. Yes, you can have 10X. I don't care. I'm very comfortable. That's real measure of true wealth, right? Where there is no comparison urge or no comparison anxiety. So after we go through all these 8 signs of true measures, wow, Mr. Lu, you didn't put a number down. Is it 2 million? Is it 5 million? Is it 10 million? Is it 100 million? Is it 1 billion? No. The real measure of wealth is not about income level, wealth level. It's not a digit. It's not about job titles. It's not about the lifestyle and things you can flaunt, but it's about it's about optionality. It's about comforts and peace of mind, and it's about no fear of things that could come, right? And I thought that's very more appropriate as a true measure of wealth. So the ultimate rich are not people who earn a lot. Okay, ultimate rich is not those people who are very visible or what other people think of you, or not whether your face come on Straits Times as Singapore top, leading entrepreneurs or top leading wealthy or whatsoever. But these are very superficial, and I think we have seen enough people who are high income but doesn't have the ability to enjoy the comforts of being rich because they're just too heavily into expenses and debt. So wealth truly is, something about the ability to be comfortable with yourself, the ability to know that no matter what things happen around you, you are still okay in a large extent. And I thought that's the ultimate key. So final thought, if money no longer controls your emotion, okay, your self-worth, I think you are very well to do already, even if nobody knows it. And maybe that's even better, that nobody knows it. And yeah, you just know it yourself. I think that's the ultimate true measure of wealth. So maybe the question for everybody is, reflect on your current status right now, right? What kind of wealth are you chasing? Okay, are you chasing after numbers, a certain wealth status defined by material or numbers, or are you chasing wealth in terms of comforts of life, peace of mind, and self actualization, right? So I think this is quite important. Do think about it. Let me know whether you agree with me that these are the right measures of wealth, and I'll see you in my live stream. Thank you, guys, and goodbye.